at 5, a piece of history destroyed. The story behind this boat.
A missing South Bend woman murdered. Now her mother is speaking out while the search for a suspect continues.
You know, who would do such a thing? Steal from the grave of Goshen's former police chief.
First, fast, accurate with Jennifer Copeland and Todd Connor. You're watching WSBT 22 News at 5.
People in Goshen are understandably pretty upset after their former police chief's grave was robbed. A large police badge was stolen from Wade Branson's burial site.
WSBT 22's Caitlin Connon is live in downtown Goshen. And Caitlin, people are still honoring Branson there at First Friday.
Todd, even these classic cars are a nod to Branson. This is the 10th annual Goshen Cruisin' Reunion, and Branson played a pretty big role in bringing it to this area. Now that he's passed, First Friday staff are raising money in his honor. That money will go toward the Wade K. Branson Scholarship Fund. When it comes to the stolen badge, some city council members are willing to start a donation too to replace it. Those council members say the family just wants the badge replaced, no questions asked. But Councilman Doug Nisley wouldn't mind seeing more.
I know that the family said, you know, no questions asked, but I believe if they're caught that they should be prosecuted to the extent of the law. He deserves the most respect that you could give somebody.
Councilman Nisley and everyone else that I spoke to about Branson today said he does not deserve to have his final resting place disturbed like this. You can hear why tonight on WSBT 22 News at 6. Live in Goshen, Caitlin Connon, WSBT 22 News.
Indiana's Inspector General is investigating accusations of groping against Attorney General Curtis Hill. An Indiana Democratic lawmaker now says she was the one groped by Hill. Representative Mara Candelaria Reardon released a statement to the Indianapolis Star. She says Hill groped her in the early hours of March 15th at an end-of-session gathering. Indiana's governor and Secretary of State both released statements asking Hill to resign. Hill has denied the accusations and says he has no plans to step down. Hill says he is demanding an independent investigation by the Marion County Prosecutor's Office. A rally calling on Hill to resign is happening tomorrow in Indianapolis. It starts at 2 on the steps of the State House.
A South Bend family is in mourning after the body of Christina Woods was found near Cook, Minnesota. Police are now looking for this man, 40-year-old Daniel Lynn, also of South Bend. They say Lynn is the suspect in Woods' death. WSBT 22's Veronica Ortega is at the live desk, and Veronica, the family is asking for help.
Todd, 28-year-old Christina Woods was reported missing from South Bend in June. Her family has been searching for her ever since. Police say she headed to Minnesota, where she contacted the St. Louis County Sheriff's Office asking for help. Her remains were discovered earlier this week. They say she was found on property that belongs to the family of Daniel Lynn, also from South Bend. Woods is survived by 4 children. Her mother spoke to us today, making a passionate plea for help. They say they're determined to get justice.
Any information that anybody can give to the detectives, please reach out to them, talk to them. It is very important to get this guy off the street.
Lynn is 5'10" and weighs 210 pounds. He is bald with tattoos on his neck. He was last seen in Minnesota. Police say he has connections here, and it's possible that he may be back in Indiana. If you know anything, you are asked to contact police. At the live desk, Veronica Ortega, WSBT 22 News.
All right, you're taking a live look at Silver Beach in St. Joseph. After all the heat, many are out there enjoying the mild temperatures today. But look at the waves out there. Chief Meteorologist Matt Rudkin is in for Abby. You know, the weather's great, a lot of people out there at the beach, but those waves are dangerous.
Yeah, certainly obey the flags that are at the area beaches. I'll show a couple of them to you. This is South Haven, and you'll notice here that there's some waves, but it hasn't been too bad. out and about. But notice the flag there is green. So at least on the south beach of South Haven, it's okay to go swimming out there. But the piers are what's breaking the water. I'll show you St. Joe. It's not the same. You'll notice here that the waves are really breaking up against the piers here. And you can literally see the current. See the different colors here? That's the river water going out. This is the current of Lake Michigan by going around the piers. You can see why if you get swept out, you're in big trouble. Stay out of the lake today. Tomorrow looks much better. Temperatures upper 70s, low 80s, low 70s closer to Lake Michigan. Storm tracker radar is all clear, but again, high rip current risk from Holland, all of our beaches in Michigan and Indiana, and all of Chicagoland up to about Wisconsin. High risk for rip currents as we head towards today, again with waves 3 to 5 feet, but it gets much better tomorrow. We'll chat about that and the rest of the weekend in just a few minutes.
Thank you. Happening now. Crews in Thailand are working to pump water out of the flooded cave where 12 boys and their soccer coach are trapped. With so many workers in the underground complex, authorities are rushing to install a 3-mile-long oxygen tube. A former Thai Navy SEAL diver died from lack of oxygen overnight. Authorities are trying to get the floodwaters to a level where the boys would not have to dive and could swim out with life jackets on. Cave rescue experts have said it could be safest to simply keep the boys where they are and wait for the flooding to subside. But that could take months since rainy season typically lasts through October.
Now at 5, the June jobs numbers came out today with the economy adding 213,000 new jobs. Unemployment ticked up slightly to 4% overall. For African Americans looking for work, the numbers are also good with unemployment at a historic low. WSBT 22 national correspondent Christine Frizzell takes a look at the numbers and what's behind them.
The June jobs numbers show construction jobs up 13,000, education and health services 54,000. For African Americans, the peak unemployment rate, 16.8% in 2010, has been in a free fall, this month landing at about 6.5%, a trend candidate Donald Trump predicted.
African American communities have suffered under Democratic control. What do you have to lose by trying something new?
Still, with sectors like retail losing ground, the unemployment rate for African Americans remains far above Hispanic and white unemployment, and some say doesn't tell the whole story.
The unemployment rate only measures people who are looking for work and unable to find it. It does not include people who have given up looking for work.
Economist Margaret Sims says educational opportunities and training programs for African Americans have actually declined.
The jobs that are available may not match up to their skills. It may not match up to their locations. They may not be in the places where all these unfilled jobs exist.
Most economists have called the current economy strong and say it's moving in the right direction. The question is how that will translate politically for President Trump in the upcoming midterm elections.
He might even do a little bit better than the historic norms, but I don't think you're going to see a third of African Americans voting for Donald Trump's candidates in November.
A strong economy in a polarized country. The real test for the president most likely 2 years away. Christine Frizzell, WSBT 22 News.
And it is time for our question of the day. Has the job market in your area gotten better, gotten worse, or stayed the same? Weigh in now on our website, WSBT.com.
The very first charter school in Elkhart County could be in the works. A longtime educator is working to open a competency and work-based charter high school in Goshen. This is according to our reporting partners at the South Bend Tribune. Students would have the chance of getting a high school diploma in less than 4 years. The school could be located at Goshen College, and it could open as soon as next year and would initially have about 50 students.
All right, soon you'll notice a lot more delays near University Park Mall. Starting Monday morning, there will be northbound and southbound lane restrictions on Grape Road. That is happening in the area between University Drive and Indian Ridge Boulevard. Crews will be working on pavement and utility repairs. Work is expected to last through Wednesday.
You only have a couple more nights left to enjoy the St. Joseph County 4-H Fair. That's where we find WSBT 22 meteorologist Ed Russo. Ed, what a great night to be at the fair.
Yeah, it's been a gorgeous day all day here at the St. Joe 4-H Fairgrounds, and it's more crowded than it's been all week. No surprise, it's a lot cooler, even a little more crisp right now. Either that's because it just isn't as hot, or people are just trying to get their fill of the air and it's final days. Whether it's to eat the food, I had the sirloin tips, by the way, which I highly recommend, or ride the rides or watch the popular tractor pull later this evening. There's a little something here for everyone, and some have traveled quite far just to come here.
Our niece came from Atlanta. We decided that she just got off the plane at 11:30 and we're here, it's 1 o'clock. So we decided the family does this every year. We pick a day and we try to meet most of our family here to enjoy the day.
And talk about not wasting any time getting off the plane at 11:30 and then you're here an hour later. The Crazy Mouse has been one of the most popular rides of the day. I've talked to several different kids, and this is one of the first rides they list. You can see how long the line is. Also, the Himalaya doing pretty well there, another popular ride. I've seen people actually eat quite a bit of food and then seconds later get on the ride. Me, I'd probably maybe wait half an hour or an hour to let the food settle, but regardless, everyone's having a great time. At 6 o'clock, we're going to be over at the tractor pull, so we're excited to talk to you about that. We'll be here all evening. Live in St. Joseph County, I'm meteorologist Ed Russo.
He's got you covered with your fun and your food out there. Ed, thank you. And if you still need your fair fix when that one's over, you can head to Warsaw. The Kosciuszko County Fair starts Sunday. The parade is also Sunday. It starts at 3:30. The monster truck event is Tuesday, and that fair runs through Saturday. The LaPorte County Fair also starts Sunday.
And also happening this weekend, don't forget to look up at 5:30, a preview of an annual air show set to take flight in Goshen.
But back here at 5, it is peak season for lavender. We're going to take you to Niles, where U-Pick season is in full swing.
And it certainly is a nice Friday. Gets even better. That's possible through the weekend. We'll chat about that, how long this lasts, next.
Now, your accurate first alert weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Matt Rudkin.
Boy, nice one out there today.
It is
the humidity
gorgeous.
Kind of gone.
It is
for the most
kind
part.
of. It is gone.
Yeah.
You know, I sent somebody email earlier that I think your app's broken because it feels like temperature is the same as temperature. No, you literally can't calculate a heat index because there's hardly any humidity. This is Winona Lake. I've got this zoomed into Warsaw. This is the fairground, so this will be a fun camera to watch this weekend as the rides get put up. This is obviously the grandstand here, and a lot of piers and boats out this way, so it's starting to look pretty active over at the fairgrounds. The actual rides may be behind the tree line. We'll see once they get them set up. But nonetheless, pretty nice night. And there's where I want to be, right there. See that? Jennifer could be there. Todd could be driving. Yeah, and the boss would have us thrown over because it's Friday and we have to work. Here's a live look at, I don't know what this is, Bangor. It's usually the train station. Not sure. That's Van Buren County. There's a couple of boots and whatnot. I don't know what that is. I should research these cameras. What was that? I'll try to go back. Oh, I lost the picture. I don't know what that was. It says beer. All right. I still would rather be on the boat, although that would be a close second for what it's worth. Here's St. Joe. Joking aside, stay out of the water tonight. Rip current risk remains high, and I like showing this camera. You can literally see it. See the current of Lake Michigan? This is the river, the water going around the pier there, and you can physically see the current. Could you understand why if you got in there, you're in big trouble? That's why we're trying to reiterate for people to stay out of the water. And I know not everybody watches local news 24 hours a day, but you would be surprised at people walking around this pier. And the one guy we almost saw literally fall in, so don't be that person. 73 degrees, dew point is 59. Storm tracker radar is all clear. Let's zoom out and get the overall picture. All that humidity and moisture is now south of the Ohio River. It's Kentucky and Tennessee's problem and points southward. We're done for quite a while as far as humidity goes. Temperatures, again, pretty seasonable. We're a couple degrees below average. Normal high is about 82, 83. It's much cooler along the lake. You get inland, upper 70s and low 80s. Dew points, upper 40s. That is a ridiculously low number for July. We're usually 60s to 70s. This is what you feel early spring and late fall. You know, you go out in September, you get that first blast of cool air. These are the dew points that usually represent that. So we get some nice dry air. Temperatures or dew point numbers of downstate or where the humidity's at. This is ours for a while. And remember, when dew points are low, your air temperature at night tanks. We're going to get in the low 50s tonight, so some natural air conditioning. But that dew point goes back up As we head towards early and mid next week, you'll start to feel the humidity a bit more. So tonight, about 52, mostly clear, 78 tomorrow, lots of sunshine. Beach conditions on Lake Michigan, as far as waves, get much, much better. The winds will calm down so you can go out and enjoy it without worrying about the rip currents too much. Middle 80s early week, and then by mid and late week, we're talking upper 80s and low 90s. The heat index will be back on your phones and all that good stuff. The humidity comes back in here. Overall, pretty dry. This is good work for those of you who farm, or this is good weather for those of you who farm and have to do work in the fields. But eventually, you're probably going to have the irrigation start going here if you haven't already. It's crazy how, when the dew points are this dry, how fast the moisture evaporates from the soil. Before you know it, the grass will be brown if it's not yet. Really? It doesn't take too long. Yeah. Yep, dry air really causes evaporation to skyrocket, which we could use in some of our areas. We had so much flooding this spring, so some of you are happy about that. Others who haven't seen as much rain are probably already running the sprinklers.
Yeah. All right, Matt. Thank you, sir. Next at 5, planning a road trip with your dog. WSBT 22's Dane Murray has some helpful tips before you hit the road. And here's a preview of what's ahead at 6.
Just days after he was laid to rest, a large badge was stolen from former Chief Wade Branson's gravesite in Goshen. Coming up on WSBT 22 News, hear what city leaders have to say about that.
First to cover breaking news with Jennifer Copeland and Todd Connor. Your accurate first alert weather forecast with meteorologist Abby Wepler. You're watching WSBT 22 News at 5.
All right, summer break is here, and if you're planning a road trip with your furry friend, you might be surprised at how much prepping you'll need to ensure comfort and safety.
WSBT 22's Dane Murray has some helpful tips to make sure traveling with your pet goes off without a hitch.
1-year-old Maybelle and her family have been preparing for a 6-hour road trip to Vermont.
We started to do small trips around town, going to our neighbors' homes, in the car, that sort of thing.
And that's not all. Just ask trainer Holly Santana.
You should have consistency. So you want the same food, you want the same schedule. And so if they eat at 6 a.m. and 6 p.m., keep it 6 a.m. and 6 p.m.
And she says bring a towel or bed with the scent from home. Keep the car cool and take breaks every 3 hours at least. Also useful, cleaning supplies. Doggy bags, leash, collar, and ID tags with your dog's name and your contacts. And don't forget about safety.
Pets can act as projectiles if they're not secured.
Securing them is a must. The Center for Pet Safety with Subaru conducted crash tests with dummy dogs. They found among the most secure restraints, the SleepyPod air carrier for about $160, the Gunner Kennels G1 intermediate crate for $500, and the SleepyPod Click-It sport harness between $65 and $75.
There you go.
And they recommend dogs up to 90 pounds should be secured in the rear seat opposite the driver's side, in larger cars in the rear seat or in a crate in its cargo area. For 3-row vehicles with captain's chairs, dogs up to 20 pounds should be secured in the 2nd row, larger dogs in the 3rd row. And if traveling with children, secure the child in the 2nd row and the dog behind on the opposite side.
Family trips to Vermont are very important to us. I want to make sure that everyone in the car is safe.
That was Dane Murray reporting. One more really important thing to remember, vaccination records. Holly, the trainer, says these can be really useful to carry with you if your dog gets sick and you need to visit a local vet wherever you're traveling. Also, dog-friendly hotels have been known to ask for them as well.
All right, if you want to add a little color to your life, you may be able to find it at the Lavender Hill Farm in Niles. Late June and early July mark the beginning of blooming time for lavender flowers, making right now the ideal time to pick them. Guests can pick lavender plants Monday through Saturday from 10 to 4. The farm has been growing lavender since 2001, and for the owner of the farm, the environment is special.
Just a beautiful environment. It's special to me because I grew up here, and letting other people come and enjoy it, because it's incredible how grateful a lot of the customers are just to be able to come out here and just sit under the tree for a while and look at the lavender.
Guests can get however many lavender flowers that can fit into a twist tie for $5. In addition to the plant by itself, other homemade products using lavender can be found at the shop year-round.
That's on my list of things to do this summer.
Yeah, I've never picked lavender.
I never
don't know
have
how to
either.
pick it.
I haven't either.
Well, when you go, let me know.
I will.
Okay. All right, ever wish your house could clean itself?
Well, we're not there yet, but that's definitely technology that can help. This story and more when WSBT 22 News at 5 continues.
watching WSBT 22 News at 5.
Even the most time-consuming chores can go a lot faster with the right tools.
That's right. Here are 3 products to cut your cleaning time for you. First up, the Roomba 960. It will get your floors and your carpets clean without even having to lift a finger. Did you see what that just did? It maps out the entire space and it fits under most of the furniture so it doesn't miss a crumb. Download the app to control anywhere in your house so that you can have your clean floors as soon as you walk through the door. Roombas start at about $300.
And don't bother folding out the ironing board. Rowenta's XL Steam Plus is ready to go in seconds, and it gets rid of those stubborn wrinkles with just one pass. It sells for around $69 and comes in a travel size.
And finally, the Dyson Pure Cool is a $500 investment with double the reward. It's high-tech air purifier that keeps your house dust-free while its powerful fan cools it down. Dyson says it eliminates 99.7% of dust particles and allergens in your room, which you can actually monitor and control through a mobile app as well.
Oh, we can all dream. A mix-up with some forever stamps is costing the U.S. Postal Service $3.5 million. The stamp appeared to show the Statue of Liberty, but it's actually the smaller replica located in Las Vegas. Its sculptor later sued the Postal Service for copyright infringement. A federal judge agreed yesterday and ordered it to pay up. The Postal Service said it took the image from a licensed photograph and didn't know the image was not the original statue.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Well, U.S. tariffs on China officially in effect. Next at 5:30, we have an update on China's response.
Plus, a historic boat in Michigan goes up in flames. What we know right now as crews investigate the cause.